Have you ever had an encounter with the good folk? I've tried to record this video 3 times and it is just not having it, so we're going to try one more time, and if not, maybe I'm not supposed to. I was watching a video this morning where Professor Ronald Hutton outlines an experience he had that he thinks may have been an encounter with a type of fairy called the Leanan Sidhe. Apologies for my terrible pronunciation. Back in I think he said 1985, and he'd gone up to Ireland. He'd been working as a tour guide, but they had gone to bed quite early that night, and he decided that he would like to go to a local pub. So he had gone to the hotel receptionist, got some details, and then happened to say to her, "Oh, tonight feels like a night that the Leanan Sidhe could be abroad." And she said, yes, she'll definitely be walking tonight. Anyway, so he's gone to the pub, he's whiled away the evening, having a lovely chat with somebody. And when he came out later on, he was a little bit tipsy. I think his description is a modest but significant amount of alcohol. And it was dark, he was on his own, he started the walk home. There was quite a heavy fog that had come down, and as he was walking along, he felt that somebody was near, and he heard footsteps echoing alongside his own. And then he decided in his head, he made that decision not to call out and say, "Who's there?" So he didn't do that, and eventually the feeling dissipated and he continued back to his hotel and was absolutely fine and unharmed. Anyway, sometime later he found out that something typical of the Leanan Sidhe is that she would appear silently walking alongside you, and it's usually young men that she would be walking alongside. And should the man speak to her, he will immediately fall under her spell, and if she doesn't like him, he may not exist for much longer. And if she does like him, he would have a relatively shortish life, but would be blessed with fame and talent in the creative sphere in some way, music or art, something like that. It's interesting to know whether or not this can actually be constituted as a real experience. Obviously it happened to him, but whether or not it was an actual fairy encounter, because he had already said in the video his emotions were not the greatest. He was going through a breakup. He was obviously a little bit tipsy, he was walking alone at night, which is creepy at the best of times, and there could be a logical explanation that someone actually was there, somebody actually was following him. Or is the explanation that it could have been a Leanan Sidhe real? But he already had it in his brain that that could be a possibility, because he'd already spoken to the receptionist about it, so kind of like pre-programming his mind almost. So my question to you is, what do you think? Do you think that was a real encounter? I am healthily sceptical, I believe, about that sort of thing, although I won't be investigating any possible fey traps, that is, just putting that out there. So I do believe in nature spirits and things of the sort, but I'm interested. Do you think that it possibly was? Or do you think that it was just a trick of the mind, and or a real life person was there being creepy? And have you had an experience yourself? Let me know.